Welcome to the Bleav Podcast Network SoCal Sweat. My name is Anne McDaniels, a former NFL cheerleader and product manager turned actress and model who dreams of being a UFC fighter. Meow. Learning strategies to help motivate others leads me to bring you interviews each week from a range of athletes, experts in fitness and nutrition, and so much more. Thanks for listening to Bleav, the #1 podcast for working professionals, and let's push our endorphins to higher performance through SoCal Sweat. This is your host, Anne McDaniels, and welcome to another episode of SoCal Sweat. Today, we're going to be featuring yet another successful weight loss journey towards much better health. Harlem's hottest, DJ Shorty Love, also known as Teray Gilliard, is a highly accomplished female DJ and entrepreneur with 20 years of experience. Working in the nightlife and at so many events caused a spiral of drinking and bad eating habits. Of course, it's so fun to indulge, especially when one is among friends and in great environments. However, daily walking up and down the New York City subway stairs became so taxing for her knees and lungs that she decided to make a positive change for her health. With daily exercise and following a whole foods, highly plant-based diet with allowable seafood that she actually really loves, DJ Shorty Love has already lost 70 pounds and intends to get back to her high school track star weight. This episode will feature Teray's journey, setbacks, perseverance, and how she makes fitness fun. You've got to do what you like. To spin the bad habits out of her life with as much power as she spins her records. Joining Teray is her great friend and fitness partner, Whitney Glandon, who continues to be her biggest advocate in great health. And now I introduce to you DJ Shorty Love and Whitney Glandon. Hello, Teray and Whitney. How are you guys today?
Great. I'm wonderful. How are you?
Good, thank you. And they're coming live from New York City where they work together. Now, Miss Teray Gilliard lost 70 pounds, and I can't wait to hear everything that it involved and how you feel and everything like that. But Teray, could you tell us how you started out as a child? What was your upbringing like for fitness and exercise and nutrition?
Well, as a child, I was very active, and I actually wasn't overweight. I was really small and skinny. I was like really tiny, and I ran around a lot. I was hyperactive. You know, it was my family members were always like, "Sit down, sit your butt down," because I couldn't stay still. I used to do a lot of like gymnast type stuff. I wasn't a gymnast, but I used to do a lot of gymnast type stuff. I was a tomboy, so I was just constantly running around. And I ran track in elementary. I ran track, sprinted. So I was always very active. I never was really lazy, even when I started to gain weight. Probably was just, the food and hanging out and those kind of decisions. I was always interested in fitness and moving around of some sort.
Clearly. And then as you entertain in the clubs and at bar mitzvahs and weddings and all these things, did you find it hard to, like when you hit the spot where you were gaining weight, was it just the fact that there was event food everywhere and it was fun and you were lively and you were living the nightlife, and then that kind of exacerbated from there?
Well, I started gaining before that. I started gaining in high school. So around, I think maybe my sophomore year is when I started to notice it, like starting to come on. And when I look back now, I say to myself, well, at that point, I was able to, commute to school on my own, get allowance, go to the store, buy whatever I wanted to. And that probably was where the problem started. Like I would stop at the pizza shop. I would get the Chinese food and the French fries. And then I stopped running track around that time, because I ran in elementary, and I kept telling my high school coach I was going to join. I didn't join. And I don't have many regrets in life, but that's one that I always regret.
Yeah, you were probably fast. Did you run the 1, 2, and 4? Did you run the 1, 2, and 4 sprints?
I did the 55-meter dash. I used to do that, and 100-meter dash,
sure.
And 4x4 relay.
Okay.
So doing my things. But the weight started coming on around that time, and then I was hanging out with friends and going out to, places and getting like a lot of a lot of the extra food, and then the activity slowed down. And then, I mean, my aunt likes to account it to the medication for my asthma. I mean, maybe, I don't know. I still take asthma medicine sometimes, so I don't know. But she likes to say, she swears that the steroids and the asthma medicine probably help blow me up.
Oh gosh, I've never even heard of that. That's interesting to look into. We're suffering major LA fires right now, and everybody who has asthma is actually getting double doses, and then they're going to like sports stores and getting extra oxygen just to inhale because it's such poor air quality. So that's interesting that that happened. But with your asthma, I didn't know you had that. That probably could have affected certain things in your upbringing. Maybe did you feel out of breath running sprints, especially a 400? With your asthmatic condition?
Um, I used to like. I never liked long distance running. I still don't.
Me neither. I hate
I
it.
do it though, but right, Wendy, I do it. But I never liked it because I would get out of breath. I would rather like go really fast, get out of breath, stop, and have a chance to
Yeah.
get out of breath. So, but I didn't. I don't think. See, I don't remember exactly what age I developed asthma. I think I may have stopped. I may have stopped track by then because
Okay.
it came on later. I didn't have asthma from a
Sure.
young child. I remember I was away like on some sort of retreat with my aunt, and we were out in the forest, in the woods, and things like that. And I just couldn't.
Okay.
So
So, but basically, just the weight gain came just like as we all do. We go out with friends, and it's late night, and all these things, and it just spirals out of effect. What
yeah.
did you hit a certain point where you may have seen a photo of yourself, or maybe you got a bad comment, or maybe you were just sick of it? What changed your mindset to switch?
Oh, I did the first time that I really, really got focused before I fell off again because I've been yo-yoing for years. But I did see a photo. There was a photo of me that my cousin took at a barbecue, and I was just sitting in the chair, kind of just like this. And I wasn't posing for it. I just happened to, it was a side shot of me, and like my stomach was all out, and it just looked bad. And I was just like, that's how I look. Like I didn't even now looking back to pictures, I'm like, wow. So and then that was after I started DJing in the clubs and all that. Like you said, that did come into play because then it was like late night. It was the alcohol, the sweet drinks, constantly. And
Yep.
at a party, we go to the 24-hour place to get something to eat because you're hungry. It would be White Castles and Popeyes, and whatever was open at that time of night. It was all of that. So and the
Exactly. And then
show,
when you're drinking too, then you wake up, is it hair of the dog the next day, or you want to sop it up with some big greasy breakfast with bacon and
yeah.
eggs in it. Yep, it's a spiral effect that most people, that happens to a lot of people. So you mentioned yo-yo dieting, which is super common for everybody. Did you do any like of those like super fancy diets like the South Beach, or did you do Weight Watchers or anything like that? Or was it just kind of like, I'm not gonna eat this and then
I did. I never did Weight Watchers, but I did Atkins. I did. I remember in college. Yeah, I did keto. I remember in college, like way back. I remember I tried that Dexatrim.
oh
It was
yeah.
bad.
Where the heart speeds up and you're
Yeah, yeah, and
water
I had
depleted.
and it was like, whoa, and they said that was it. So, and then the last thing, and then I did Beachbody, and I had those shakes, and I was a Beachbody coach and all of that stuff. And I'm not gonna like the program; it's cool, it works. After
Sure.
that, I did keto, and I thought keto was the thing. And looking back now, I'm like, that was not it because the headaches you get these
Yeah,
headaches and all of this kind of withdrawal.
that's the
I thought,
thing.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
and you probably experienced quick weight loss with that, which most people do, but it's a longevity. As your friend Whitney will also, that's what she preaches and that's what she does. It's longevity. Like you can take that weight off, but it's like, are you never going to eat meat again if you're a meat eater, or are you never going to eat carbs again or enjoy a cookie? You have to think long term, and you obviously did. So after trying all of those, did you kind of did you start reading up on nutrition to really figure out how did you go from the yo-yo dieting to changing?
Um, well, I mean, I've tried the vegan thing once before. I tried it like before I met Whitney a while ago, and it didn't work. I didn't like it because um, the food choices I didn't like them. They were like, yuck, and there's so much carb, and I was so stuck on that keto, and carbs are bad for you. So then what happened? Oh, one time I had some pains in my knee. Let's just jump to the chase on how it started.
Totally, just be honest.
Just a couple words for Whitney. She never forced that on me. Her famous line is, "Do whatever you want to do, do what you want to do." But I was having pains in my knees, and even just to go down the subway, like to come back and forth to work. And at the time I'm like, okay, I'm about 40, and I'm getting a little older, but no, this is just too soon. Like I don't feel like I should feel that way or whatever. And just to go up and down, it hurt both knees, so I was like, that's not good. And things like, it being difficult to bend over and tie your shoelace, like that's not cool. I always say, people say, oh, I'm big and I'm proud and love who you are. Yeah, that's true. But like, you can't tell me it's comfortable when you can barely tie your own shoelaces.
Yeah.
That's not comfortable. That's not. So right. My knees were hurting. And Whitney said, you probably got a lot of inflammation built up from all that animal protein you're eating. Because I was doing keto. I just came off doing keto. And then I thought about it because I had read up and talked to people about anti-inflammatory diets and things like that. So when she said it, like, that just sounds like it makes so much sense. It's a possibility. Yeah. And I was willing to try whatever. So I had a big old steak, huge steak, for me and my husband for that night. And I said, you know what? I'm going to make this steak tonight, and then that's it. I'm going to do a month. I'm going to give myself a month. I'm going to try not to eat no meat for a month. I didn't even plan on the dairy. I was just like, I'm not eating meat for a month. So when I got home that night, I was in the house and I was seasoning up the steak, and it was huge.
And delicious and juicy, I'm sure.
Yeah,
for the one last time.
As I'm seasoning it, I just looked at it and I just thought about the pain in my knee, and I just was like, I'm not even gonna eat this tonight. I called my husband. I said, listen, I'm gonna season the steak still, but I'm starting today. I'm not even gonna wait till tomorrow. You can have the steak. If it's too much, call our cousin. She always comes over and shares food. I said, call her up and tell her to come share the steak with you or save her some, but I'm not gonna. And I actually did it that night. I didn't eat that steak, and I didn't. So I went 30 days, and when I got to the 30-day mark, I couldn't really tell. I'm not gonna say in 30 days I felt great, and I realized it was it, but it didn't bother me that I wasn't eating the meat. I wasn't really missing it. So I said, okay, unless I get a craving where I can't resist, I'm gonna just keep going. Let me just see how long I keep going. So then I did start to notice, okay, when I would come to work and walk up the steps, my knees didn't hurt as much anymore. I mean, I still feel a little something, but it didn't hurt as much anymore. And the biggest fact that I noticed right away was I would walk all the way to the top of the steps, maybe take one breath and continue to walk. But normally I would like stroll up the steps. Once I got to the top of the steps, I needed to catch my breath.
Oh my god.
Then proceed.
Good
and that
for
was
you.
that I noticed, like before the weight started to fall off more and everything, I noticed that, and I was like, that's a good small deal.
That's amazing.
So then I would notice that we would go out and run, and my running improved, because when I started running with Whitney, I was like, how far would I wouldn't even get that far, and I had.
But you're an athlete, so that probably came back quickly when your pain went away, I'm sure.
Yes, so I started running longer, and then I noticed that. I'm like, wait, my endurance. I said, if nothing else gives, the fact that I can breathe better, and it just seems like something is working that I can. And so that's why I'm able to just work out harder and longer. I think it's because I got some of the inflammation removed from me, because I have family members that's like, oh no, Troy, I can't do what you're doing. Like, you're over there and you're doing cartwheels, and you're doing, well, not cartwheels, but I'm just like giving an example of where they think that my workouts are extreme. And I'm like, no, but I couldn't do this months ago. And I think it's because of the diet more. I believe it's because of the diet that opened everything up, that I'm able to, that I slowly was able to progress and do these crazy little movements, if that's what they want to call them. So I try to encourage them, like, okay, well, just try with the diet, and then maybe you can walk further, or you can that's how it happened for me.
Well,
So
you made
I
that
just
mind-body connection, and a lot of people don't think that deeply, but you knew. I mean, even looking at that steak, you thought about your knees and the subway stairs and the stairs going to work, and it turned you off.
yeah, I'm just used to being too active and able to do what I want to do. So that was frustrating me because I'm like, I'm getting older, but I'm not that old. And then
No.
all of this cancer running rampant and this and that. And a lot of people at my age now, high blood pressure, diabetes, and this and that. And I don't have any of those things. The only thing I have is asthma. So my thing was, before I get um, that letter from the doctor or whatever, or those results from your blood work saying that I have it, I said, let me try to fight against it before it comes my way. So that's my biggest
Amazing.
thing that I
Do you
do
have
now.
any in your family, any conditions of cancer or diabetes or anything like that in the family, genetics?
Oh yeah, well, my grandmother had cancer. She had both her breasts removed, and
Okay.
she had
Sorry.
cancer. Few people have high blood pressure.
Sure. So you're fighting that genetic cycle, and that's excellent, because we can kind of control this. So, well, good
I
for
think
you.
so. I think so. That's what
Yeah.
I think that too. And people say, "Oh, it's genetics, so I'm bound to have it." So they're like, "Oh, I'm at that age. It's gonna happen." I'm like, "Nah, I'm gonna fight this. I'm gonna fight
Good
against
for
it."
you. People can be complacent and then let it take them and go ahead and get old. Don't call me old. That's kind of your attitude, and I love that. That's excellent. Have you had to use your inhaler at all?
Yeah, sometimes I have to use it. I mean, I have one that like I'm supposed to take every day, which was supposed to keep me from having an asthma attack. Because the regular Butyrol, that's really supposed to be for emergencies.
Okay.
You just puff it constantly, which is
Sure. But not
so
anymore, just for emergency purposes. That's
yeah.
excellent. So you guys work together. The Whitney and Teray work together in New York City, and it sounds like you guys have kind of every day is a fitness day. Can you tell
Yeah.
me? Can you tell us how you do this? And also, and I'd love to hear your daily routine now of what you eat for breakfast, snacks, lunch, and dinner, or just a quick synopsis of that. So let's just start with when you get to work. What do you guys do? I think you take a lunch break together and work out.
Um, Sometimes we do that. Most of the time, we started out working out together after work. It started with the runs. It's like, come on, let's go run. And I was like, okay. And then when it got cold, I'm like, I'm not running if it's not over 50 degrees.
You've got a threshold.
And so we're like, oh, it's 50. And then when it's like 47, I'm like, it's not 50 degrees. It's 47. So come on, and whatever we would do it. So I realized that we actually ran all winter last year. When I look at my tracking, like on Strava and everything, I had a recording for at least once a week or twice a month. Every single month throughout the whole winter, we did go outside and run.
Oh
And
my
I was
goodness.
like, this lady got me to do it, because I wouldn't have went out there in the cold and did it myself.
No.
But after you do it, then you feel good. So it started from, working out after work. Then I started going to a gym sometimes. So, and it was cool because I've always been interested in working out. And sometimes if the rest of your friends don't want to do that, or they be like, come on, let's go hang out and have drinks instead. And then you fall into that, you do that. You can't get that one friend to come with you. So it's great to have a friend like her with me every single day. Like sometimes she'll text me in the morning, are we working out? So I'm prepared. And, and I'll do the same thing. Or she'll say, no, I have this engagement. Or I'll say, no, I have this engagement and I can't. But then we'll be prepared, like, okay, we're working out after work. And that's the best thing. Because if I go home, or if I leave here to say I'm going to the gym, like all the way uptown, I may not get off the train and go to the gym. I might just go straight home. So
Especially if you're hungry and you smell some barbecue, even though you've really conditioned yourself. Well, that's excellent. Have you guys do you lift weights at all incorporated into your regimen?
Yes.
Okay.
So we do a little bit of everything. And I like that. And it's unique that she likes that too. She likes to do a little everything. The only thing I can't get her to do is ride a bike with me.
Oh.
I know how to ride a bike.
Sure.
I know how to ride a bike, but it's too dangerous to me here in Manhattan trying to ride a bike. I mean,
Can you just go East River? Can't you go on the East River?
Yeah, but there's too many nuts. Forget it. That's the one thing I'm like, I'll ride a stationary bike, but out on the street, no.
Sure.
It's always the other person you got to look out for because they're the nut.
Yeah.
already running, you have to be super aware.
Yeah.
That someone's not going to hit you when you're running.
Right.
But with the bike, I think biking is fantastic. I will do the stationary bike. If I'm out in the country, I will ride a bike, but in the mountains, not
well,
really.
and those New York City streets are so tight, and someone whips the door open and the person flies off. But I'm not encouraged. But you better be biking with Teray. You've done a lot for her.
Maybe one of these days. I don't know.
What about a bicycle built for two with Teray at the lead? Would you follow?
That we can do. That'd be hysterical.
That would be hysterical. I want matching outfits and I want a photo.
Yeah. All right. There you go. We'll do a video for you.
And Teray can be DJ Shorty Love in the front.
That's it.
I've always got my speaker attached to the bike, so.
And those little pom-poms and everything.
That's it.
Yeah.
We'll have the whole thing. But sometimes, like what we were saying before, we do work out if we have a lunch break where we can actually go outside and take off and do a 30-minute run, or even if it's a 20-minute run, we'll do that. If we can't work out right after work. I started leading a yoga group for whatever coworker wants to join once a week. So we've been doing that. Now we've got 12 people in our yoga group. And last week I wasn't there and Teray was able to cover. So it was great. I had her and another person who has done yoga with me for many years at a hot yoga studio. The two of them, I said, if I can't be there, I said, the two of you get together, keep this group running. You will make it happen. I said, you can just do your freestyle yoga, however you want to do it. And they did a phenomenal job. So she learned so much and she's doing so much. She's incredible. She's an inspiration to everyone that she comes in contact with. Her eating, how many days has it been now you've been meat-free?
Oh, yeah. I mean, I made
and dairy free.
I made a year during the whole COVID peak. Was around. Oh, matter of fact, Cinco de Mayo made a year. I remember.
Wow.
That.
And on Cinco de Mayo, when you may want tacos, I mean,
we still like tacos though.
Okay.
The veggie
the vegan. Okay. That is amazing. So you must really feel the differences in your body releasing dairy on top of it. So would you say you're vegan or vegetarian?
Well, I still have seafood sometimes.
Okay, so sure.
I always hashtag mostly plant-based.
Yeah.
But most people look at that and they probably think it's mostly because maybe I still eat cheese or milk or something, but no.
Whatever works for you, whatever works, because you clearly have made it happen. That's amazing. I'm pretty impressed also that because I personally just don't like yoga. I try to, I know that I need to do it, which is exactly why I hate it. I'm impressed that you, being so high-spirited, also enjoy it and now can teach it. But what are the benefits that you have felt? Because I'm a diehard, don't do yoga, I don't like it, but I'm open to it. What changed you?
Yes, I was like that too. I said yoga. I always told Whitney I didn't want to do yoga unless it was hot yoga because it's kind of boring.
With no carpeting. I don't want carpeting in a hot yoga studio. Gross.
I don't know if I would still say it's exciting, but I think, I might even still say that it's boring, but I know it's good for me.
Good for your body, for sure.
Flexibility.
Yeah.
So, the yoga and the nutrition, she's got me all put together well with the nutrition and the yoga.
Yeah.
I learned the most from her on those two things for sure.
She's awesome.
I'm not a nutritionist, but I do have a plant-based background, some certifications here and there. And I am working on my wellness coaching right now. I'm a student enrolled at the Institute for Integrative Nutrition and Wellness.
Wow,
so
good for you.
Right now. So Teray's kind of like my
just like a personal student. Yeah.
I'm getting to work through all of this with
like a protege.
That's great.
But but it's Teray. She's doing everything.
Yeah.
We're great friends. I mean, we started out as coworkers and then we hit it off and became really great friends. And when you have an accountability partner, that's everything. So the day I don't feel like working out, she's like, come on, let's go do it. Or the day if she doesn't feel like, I'm like, if we just get out there once we get started, we're going to feel much better.
Yeah.
And then we're always thankful when we come back in and have completed
Right.
our exercise.
You never regret a workout unless you get totally injured. So.
Right. Oh, of
Yeah.
course.
Right.
But she's done it all. It's all Teray. I mean, we're just here, like I said, to support each other. And, when she got curious about the plant-based eating, I said, this is what works for me. Maybe you try it. So it's never like, oh, you should do this. Oh, you should do that. It's always, well, this is what works for me. Maybe you try this, switch, stop, don't eat the cheese. Maybe try, the vegan cheese, or find oat milk cheese, or,
nutritional yeast that tastes like Parmesan.
Yes, absolutely. If you don't want to drink the milk, the dairy, then try the oat milk. There's a million different brands, or here's a way how to make your own oat milk. So it's just bouncing ideas back and forth off of each other, or try this, try that,
And there's always a substitution, like Teray, going back to your picture at the barbecue. Clearly you enjoy barbecue. Who doesn't enjoy it? It's still hard for me to smell grills, which we're smelling a lot of it in LA right now. And I'm not, just because of the fires, but that wonderful smoky smell of like the mesquite or the apple wood, or, that hickory. I've found that roasted vegetables done properly, or just some of the vegan meats, and then add that liquid smoke, or just like a good barbecue. There's always a substitution. And I love and follow Mike Tyson like you wouldn't believe. He is like my biggest idol. Mike Tyson, and he's fighting Roy Jones Jr. He's been a vegan for a long time. I think he's been a vegan for 10 years. I don't want to be quoted on that. But he recently, because he's fighting so hard, he just personally said, I just need the meat now to be that much of a fighter, and and he said it's helping him bulk up more, but otherwise he totally believes in a vegan diet. So I thought that was interesting, the switch, but he's got to be so ferocious, and maybe something in the meat is psychological for him to become more of a carnivore, like a lion, you know what I mean? So it could be psychological, or his trainer just made him do it. I'm not sure, but he's been vegan for a long time, and including tons of NFL players. I'm sure you've seen one of my favorite shows on Netflix is Game Changers. So, and as athletes, I mean, look at the results from that. So going back to the support system, which I think is so important, and so many people do not have that. I've had friends who want to lose weight, and then other people will self-sabotage them, like, oh, well, she's boring now. She's not one of us. And I think back to Oprah Winfrey when she was at her prime, and then she started her huge weight loss program. She lost like half her fan base because she was no longer relatable. So have you found that anybody maybe was negative against you because you want to make these improvements? Because sometimes people are jealous, or they sometimes even husbands or wives they'll get a divorce if someone loses weight and changes their lifestyle. Did you feel any setbacks from anyone? And you certainly don't have to mention anybody, but any different treatment?
Actually, no. I thought I would.
Good.
But I didn't, because I remember I kept telling Whitney for Thanksgiving, I was like, I don't know what Thanksgiving's going to be like at my family's house or whatever. And, because everybody else is like, I'm not giving it up. And, I felt like I would be a burden asking them to make something separate for me or whatever the case is. So I was thinking like, oh, I got to eat before, I got to bring this, I got to bring something. But my aunt actually reached out to me, and she said, hey, what do you either what do you eat or what do you not eat? That's what she asked me. And I was surprised. I was so surprised.
That was nice of her.
Because, I just know how they are, like, do this, do that, do this, do that. And she said, what do you eat? What do you don't eat? And at that time I still was eating, because the first whole year I still ate seafood sometimes. From January to June of this year, I did plant-based 100% for 6 months period. But for the first year, I just did seafood sometimes. So she said, okay, I'll make you some salmon. And she was like, asked me, could I have like the mac and cheese? I'm like, no, I don't eat cheese. No, I can't have this. I can't have that. So I had some rice, and I had some salmon, and I had some salad. And everybody else had the mac and cheese and the turkey and the ham and the and I think I had some cranberry sauce. That was fair game.
You did not touch that mac and cheese. I mean, I'm salivating over here.
I live in the house. I live in the household with my husband. He's not giving up meat whatsoever. Even when I first started, that's why I said when I got past those 30 days, to smell bacon every morning, to smell this and that, and him cook. He cooks. He does most of the cooking, and he's not giving up meat. I had to smell it, and
Wow.
because I started feeling good, that didn't bother me. I was like, I don't want to feel the other way again, so I'm fine.
That barrier is even harder. So you're constantly
Yeah.
exposed to those. Oh my goodness. That's a lot of mental toughness that most people couldn't do. A lot of people couldn't do. But you've kept it off. So you clearly have made these permanent changes and you feel better. Yeah.
When she has her mindset to do something, she does it. There's no getting in her way, but she does it all with a smile, which is incredible. Like,
Yeah.
which is beautiful. That's like part of her charm. I mean, she's smiling ear to ear, you know, and she's like, I'm doing this, and she makes it happen.
That's amazing. Do you have any personal mantras when it gets like really hard, where you're just like, I'm craving it so badly, I had a bad day, I'm stressed out? Do you kind of like have a picture in your head or just something you say to yourself?
No, well, you know what my thing is? I have no portion control. I never did, and I still don't. But being that I eat mostly plant-based, I'm able to eat so much more food. So I'll just eat more. Like I'll just eat more of what I like that is okay. You know, so I mean, and if I'm really craving something, then yeah, I want to go get some seafood. I had a nice seafood feast for my birthday.
Good. Happy birthday.
A whole bunch of stuff. So that's what I do. And people, they've seen me lose so much weight, and then they get around me, and even my husband, I'll go eat, and I'm like always going back for seconds, and they're looking at me like, you're eating again? But then they're wondering like, but yet you're losing this weight? And I'm like, I still have no portion control. Imagine if I did with the way I eat now, I'd probably be like half the weight I am now. But that's the one good thing. And like, you know, tons of vegetables and some plant-based kind of
food. I'm like you. I grew up in the Midwest originally, so everything's huge portions. And then you look at the fast food, look at the Big Gulp, look at the Big Mac is just getting bigger and bigger. So I love that about vegan as well, because it's volumetrics. Sometimes I will fill a bowl that it looks like a serving dish, but that's just like a snack, because you can eat so much more, and it is so much more satisfying.
But also you're eating whole foods, you know, and they're healthy foods, they're vegetables, and it's so it's not like I really don't think that her plate is that big. I mean, I've eaten many meals with her. I mean, because I eat a lot.
And you and I eat a lot too.
To keep going, to do the amount of, I do probably around between 10 and 12 miles a day. That includes walking, jogging, just on our job here. We are up and down stairs, and we all have our Apple Watches, you know, that track what we're doing and our calories. I mean, we're kind of obsessed with it.
No, but sometimes you almost have to be obsessed to get it to work. In a good way that fits with the lifestyle.
Right. And, you know, when we're eating very clean. So we're going to need I feel like a little bit more than someone who's just sitting all day at a desk.
At a desk, sure.
Drink a ton of water, you know, at least 3 liters of water a day, maybe more, you know, especially if we're running out on our break to do a quick run and coming back in, and it's 90 degrees outside, you know?
Absolutely.
We're teaching exercise classes here to the seniors, you know, so we are like constantly moving and grooving.
Yeah.
So,
and Whitney,
no, go ahead.
And Whitney and Teray do work at a beautiful retirement home. If you refer back to another podcast, I had interviewed Whitney on aging gracefully. And so working with these seniors, Teray and Whitney, you guys probably have a wonderful impact on them in kind of longevity, just watching you guys. I mean, you have more energy than anything, and that probably inspires the seniors.
They inspire me. I tell them that all the time, like at 80 years old and up, if they can come to my class every single week, several times a week, sometimes several times a day between the two of us, then when I get to the gym, I have no excuse. Like, you know, because it may be a little bit lightweight for us, but for them, it's probably what's hard to us in the gym. So that motivates me too. And that also helped with my transition too, because it was like, if I wasn't going to the gym on my own, or I decided, oh, I'll go tomorrow, I don't feel like going. Once I started working in this department, I had to do those classes, even if it was
Sure.
only 40 minutes and it was like low intensity, just the consistency of doing that over and over several times a week. I eventually built up my strength to it. Remember, I was like, well, I'm going to go in there with a weighted vest or something to make it more strong for me and do the same thing that they're doing. And then I got stronger, and then I started to hit the gym more to do things I like, because I always used to like to lift weights and stuff. So
Yeah, me too.
They've followed Teray on this journey, which is really great. I mean, every day, at least one senior, one of our residents, comes to me and says, wow, Teray has really transformed herself. This is amazing. I mean, so and when they give compliments, I mean, they're tough cookies.
Oh, yeah.
Really tough.
There's honesty, 100%. No sugarcoating.
There's no filter. And they are just smiling ear to ear when they see Teray, and they love coming to her classes. And they are, some of our biggest supporters in what we do.
So you've got a whole building of supporters for the support system besides Whitney. So that's amazing. I would like to know if you do the yoga class while spinning 90s hip hop for the seniors. Could we have that class? Could you have a yoga class with the seniors with your hip hop music, 90s hip hop? I would like to see that.
I don't think they would like to.
You don't think so?
I know.
I feel like we need to do that and the bicycle built for two with the two of you.
I mean, well, we did do that dance that time. It was like a hip hop reggae song, and they joined in and did it with us.
We did. One of our dance classes.
Boasty.
We did a dance for them, and we did it to Boasty. It was hysterical, and they jumped right in, and we taught them some moves, and we put it together. And we had home health aides, we had the concierge members, we had some other staff members, and then residents, and it was pretty wild. But the residents loved it. They jumped right in, and they were,
because that beat is just it's addictive. Even if they don't listen to the words, they don't approve of those words. It's an addictive beat. So that is really cool.
Hyper, we get so wild with them, and it's like, it's such a fun atmosphere when the two of us are in there leading, whether it's at a party that she's DJing for the seniors or the dance class, whatever. We make it so much fun. They can't help it. They're just to get excited. Even ones that aren't really into dancing or moving will still be tapping their toes or clapping. That's
great. Wow. That's tremendous that you guys do that together. And I think that's probably the biggest thing, because so many people will lose weight and they do lose friends, and it's very sad to see. And I love that your husband, although he's not really, eliminating meat on your behalf, but I love that you guys have that, understanding, and you don't have to indulge if you don't want to. Has he complimented you? Have you felt different with him, or does he feel like you're just so beautiful? And
yeah, he has complimented me, but then after his compliment, he'll always say, well, I loved you when you were bigger, like even
sure.
But he's like, recently he when you see somebody every day, you see it, but you don't really see it or whatever. Remember, I told her, but last week I asked him, hey, could you come scrub my back real quick? And he came to scrub my back, and he was like, oh, wow. Like, he noticed, so that was cool. And he was like,
awesome.
We're the same either way, though.
Oh, I'm so glad he appreciates you. Yeah.
But he'll add meat to it.
Sure.
If I cook something, he'll be like, yeah, this is good. You need chicken.
He at least tries it. And I just love that he said he loves you and you're beautiful either way. So I think that's really cool. But you're happier with yourself this way, which probably makes him happier for you on that. Well, that is really cool. So what is the program that you are currently on? Is this something you guys already touched on? I think Whitney, you said that
we're actually doing it's like a fitness, kind of a shredding fat, just getting rid of excess, maybe hard fat that's usually,
visceral, around the stomach, around the heart.
Yeah, so we're doing just like really working out really hard every day on this certain regimen. On Mondays, it's certain things for upper body, Tuesdays, lower body. And then of course, the nutrition is a huge part of it. So
Plant-based.
it's all plant-based. It's all plant-based. So the two of us plus one other friend of ours who works here with us, who is one of the concierge members, she's doing it with us also. So it's great. It's the three of us working together to, accomplish this. And it's 4 weeks long. So it's pretty intense, but it's cool because we were already working out. We're already doing a lot of cardio. We're already, eating healthy. So this is just something else to motivate us.
Supplemental, a new goal, new goals.
Just to see like what else our body can do, putting our body in the best shape possible.
That's great. And again, like you said, it's accountability, because you could come to work and then lie and say, oh, I did that. But it's like the three of you are doing it together, and you're only lying to yourselves, or you're only hurting yourself. So that's just a great thing. But so are you eliminating any seafood treats during this 4-week process?
Seafood for me for the next month.
Wow.
It's plant-based.
Even the calamari.
Yep. Just like I did the Veganuary in January to start this year, I did that whole month with no seafood.
Veganuary. I love that.
Going until June. So now here I have another month that I'll do it. So I'll be okay.
Sure. But even seafood is not, but again, if you're sticking to a regimen, I absolutely respect it. And sometimes when you cheat, it's like, ugh, you almost feel guilty. You have to start over, or, and I was going to ask you during this time that you've made the change, do you allow yourself certain cheat days or but like you said, on your birthday, you were able to indulge in seafood and allow yourself to have that? Or for the most part, do you just follow that regimen and don't really put in anything?
Yeah, just certain times I might eat cleaner, but I haven't, like I said, I haven't had any dairy, cheese, milk, eggs, or any meat in all of this time. But I eat rice again. I have pasta. I have potatoes.
Yeah.
When I was keto, I thought that was like the devil. No carbs. If you was telling me even watermelon and it was too much sugar, I eat damn near a whole watermelon. My husband be like, "Dang."
Yeah.
He come back and it's gone, and he's like, and so like all those differences came into play that people don't even realize. They're just like, oh, you're eating the rice. Oh, I'm not gonna eat the rice. Or you're eating the potatoes and things like that. But I'm like, but look at the difference now. Like, it's okay. Like it's whole food. So
whole foods from the land.
Yeah, as far as cheating, what I would call cheating for me these days would be, like I like those pea snaps. My friends will laugh at me and they'll be like, "That's healthy," but in a way, it's not healthy, right? When he teaches you all the canola oil being bad for you and stuff, so it has that.
I mean, like the bags of hip peas and things like that.
Yeah. The snap, they have the pea snap ones, the tomato basil. I love them. Like I'll tear that whole bag up. That I'll feel a little guilty after that, but even that is like
still it's not that bad. No.
Burritos or stuff like that. So, and then what keeps me going is my portions. Like instead of cheating, I want seconds. Sometimes.
Exactly. Because I'd rather have more food than less food. And some of these gorgeously fancy restaurants that, we all love, like a 5-star, they give you such small portions. And I'm like starving afterwards. And then you spend all that money. It's horrible. So good for you. Well, and it's interesting you said about the snap peas, because I just heard another podcast on watching the health food aisles. I mean, some of these, they claim to be so healthy, and it's like, oh my God, you turn it over and maybe it's like 2% of anything good. The rest is all processed. So, but again, those are not bad. Like it's like, you're not going to go to hell because you ate snap peas. So, but and they make them delicious, like chips. I mean, even the veggie chips, it's like, well, you might as well just eat cheddar and sour cream and onion Lay's, which I love, so anyway, but
you got me reading the labels.
Exactly. That's like good.
I think we all try to read the labels all my life. Even friends now, I read the labels, just the nutritional, whether the sodium or the fat content in the carbs. They'll look at that and just everything else. but it's the fine print and all that other stuff.
Absolutely.
And all that.
Yeah. And Trey, like you say, you like big portions, as do I, and Whitney too. When you look at the calorie content, that's only 100 calories. People don't remember to look at the servings. No, that's 100 times 12. There's 12 servings in this bag. You just consume 1,200 calories, not 100. And I made that mistake one time. I'm like, oh, this is just perfect. I'm like, are you serious? It's like the font seemed to be even like smaller, or maybe I chose to ignore it. It's like, but if you don't know these things or just don't want to pay attention, because sometimes just people just don't care and they just want to be indulge, and that's fine. And like in the beginning, you said something, you want to be proud of your body, but if you're not feeling well, there's no body shaming ever. But if you really, and you love your body and you're large, but if it hurts you to walk upstairs and affects your life, maybe make some changes, but to each their own, and we can't judge anybody. So it's a hard thing. But I am really proud of your journey, because I see so many people, they'll take it off, but they won't sustain it. And you've sustained it because you're constantly making more changes and adding more challenges with this 4-week fitness goal with Whitney and the concierge. So it's really cool, and it's inspiring to everybody. So, and I'm glad your husband appreciates you, you sexy woman.
Thank you. Yeah, I can't get him to work out with me or anything, but he's proud of what I'm doing so far. But he's not coming to the gym.
Well, we all are, but I mean, you're a mecca for this, and you could probably be a huge instructor and coach coming up. I mean, I see you coaching track. I see you, just because I'm sure there's so much time in your day, but seriously, it's
I told her just today, I said, I mean, in the job that we do every day, we're like a health coach already, a wellness coach, and trying to help people live their best lives, or make little changes here or there. Like, what can they do to make their life better, especially at this chapter of their life, right? And I said, you're already doing this. And, we've been doing it for a long time. I said, but, I wanted to go back to school to get a certification in this. And I said, she would be perfect. Teray would be perfect.
Absolutely.
In this program as well. So I said, you should really think about that, and she'd also be a really fantastic fitness trainer as well.
Absolutely.
She and I have developed this fun, kind of concept of do what you like fitness that we're doing, where we're just trying to inspire people every day with what we're doing, with our own workouts and what works for us. We're not saying we're not trainers, we're not this, we're not that. I have a degree in dance and yoga and all this, and she's, done a lot of fitness as well, but we're not saying this is what you should do. We're saying this is what works for us, and just trying to inspire people just to live a more healthy life, a healthier life, through like maybe check in, see what you're eating today. Maybe that could be affecting how you feel, right? And that's what Teray did. She checked in, maybe I got some serious inflammation going on here in my body. Maybe if I made a change just in what I'm putting in my body, that could help. And it did. I mean, she's incredible. I mean, just the changes that she has made in her everyday life because she wanted to make the change. And when you start feeling so great on the inside, mentally, physically, you don't ever want to go back
to
what it was before. And then you have the energy. People ask us all the time, how in the world do you have so much energy? The two of you are like, she's riding her bike here. I'm either running here or walking here in the morning, running or walking home. She's biking home. We're working out. We're taking those breaks during the day.
You're not biking, Whitney.
Yeah, I said, I'm not biking. He's biking. I'm running. I'm trying to catch her on the bike. That's it. So it's like, how do you have all this energy? It's really what we're putting into our body and creating a positive mindset.
Absolutely. And Teray, I must say, your skin is glowing. You have beautiful skin. I mean, and even through this Zoom screen, which no one looks good, it's beautiful. I mean, just the shine in your cheeks and everything.
Thank you.
Yeah, I mean, it makes a big
They're
difference.
beautiful too.
Oh, I appreciate you. Thank you. Thank you. I need it with the stuff that I've gone through. I really appreciate that. That's really kind of you to say. And one final thing, Teray, what are your future goals for this? And also finally, what would you advise to people if they're up against a million barriers and maybe they feel they can't afford it or no one supports them or it's too hard? What would be your main advice to them?
My main advice is to get moving. That's why we have the whole do what you like fitness, because it's just like, okay, instead of everything having to be structured, you must do this, you must do that, X amount of times a week or whatever. Just try to find something that you do like. If you don't like running, you like to ride your bike, or maybe you like to walk, or, maybe you like to go run around with your kids or play tennis. Like, find something you do like and just try to do that. If you like to dance, just dance more. Put on some of those electric slides and do them over and over again. Something like that, and just start from there until you feel like you've gotten better. Like, let's just say you do the electric slide 3 times and you're winded, you're out of breath. But then maybe by next week, you can get to do it 4 times and you're not out of breath as much. Like how I feel like I started with the senior classes. Like, that was real low intensity for me, but it was just a consistency of doing something really small. And then I was able to, but the major thing behind it though, I mean, it's hard for people if they don't want to like take out the meat and dairy and stuff, but I really feel like I had the endurance to do those things because I changed the diet. So
absolutely, you also have a mental mindset that's made of steel, and that really helps too. So that's really great. And any future goals for yourself as far as, because you've already lost around 70. Do you want to be at any goals for that?
Yeah, ultimately, I'd like to see if I can get to my high school weight, which was 135, and that was, and I would say this time, with muscle or whatever. So give or take in the range of 135, 140.
Amazing. How tall are you?
4'11" and a half.
Wow. I didn't realize that. So that's actually another battle, because anything you put on at that size, really, that's incredible. And you'll get to that weight. And you'll be back to that 55-yard sprinter too. Pretty cool.
Yeah, that 215 on a 4'11" frame was, that was a lot. I knew I was, but looking at the pictures now, I'm like, oh, and even the people around me, even my husband, it's like, dang, I don't remember you being that big, because everybody, they love me.
No wonder your knees were hurting though too, because that's a tiny frame. So wow, that's incredible.
Incredible body strength. Let me tell you, just like God-given strength this girl has. Incredible. She can do push-ups like no other.
I love it.
Body strength and pull-ups. She's just natural at it. Natural. Can just go over there, jump up on the bar.
That's our sexy tomboy. I love that. You don't have to tell me twice.
Sexy tomboy.
She's also an incredible filmmaker too. Her background is in technology, video, film.
I read all about that. That was really impressive. And I mean, even that, because you're sitting editing all day, and that can contribute to that lifestyle too. So yeah, jack of all trades. Can I put your social media on? Like, can I put your website for your for Hottest DJ? Tell them Hottest DJ.
Or maybe the Instagrams, since it's a little. The site may have some things that's a little dated, like as far as those links.
But they can see your bio, which is really cool. And then what is your Instagram, Teray?
So I have 2 Instagrams, but the Instagram that I show most of my like fitness stuff and personal everything all around me is Get Fit DJ SL.
Okay. And how about if they want to hire you for a wedding?
DJing, it's DJ Shorty Love. And then I also make shirts and hats and all that stuff. And
she has her own shirt and hat business.
I make shirts and hats and stuff. And that's another Instagram. It's shirts by Shorty and A&D.
Okay. That first one was Get Fit DJ
SL.
SL.
Yeah, like DJ Shorty Love.
Oh, sure. Perfect. Awesome.
DJ SL.
Awesome. We'll be making shirts, spinning beats, and getting fit. DJ Shorty Love over there.
Yeah.
That's awesome. You guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I'm so proud of you without sounding facetious. It's because it's hard. There's a reason that fitness and nutrition is $1 billion business. Anybody wants a pill, the quick fix. Oh, what do you take? What do you take? No, it's surplus and deficit of calories, proper nutrition, and exercise. There's no other way to do it. It can be fast,
One discipline.
but dangerous. Yeah, absolutely.
And support too. Because like I said, Whitney wasn't here by my side every day. I may not have come as far at this point right now because I would fall into, I might do it, I feel like doing it, or nobody won't come with me, so I don't feel like going, but she's here.
Well, she's pretty amazing and happens to be one of my dearest best friends in the world. So I understand where you're coming from, but don't take away from yourself. You did this. No one made you do this. No one made you cut the meat out. No one made you get up in the morning, smell your husband's bacon and maybe want some and get a little something. And you can't, and you, it's not like you say, oh, I can't do this. No, you just choose. I choose not to. So that's a whole long-term thing. Proud of you. Proud of you both. That's awesome.
Thank you. I love your energy.
Thank you too.
And that was DJ Shorty Love, highlighting her successful weight loss journey and keeping fitness fun. Please stay tuned in next week where I feature Hoya, healthy, organic, inspired Asian cooking with Diane Yane Kirk. We appreciate you for listening, and please subscribe and rate the show on iTunes. You can also listen on Spotify, Stitcher, Google Play, Luminary, TuneIn, or at Bleav.com. You can reach out to me for any questions or topics you'd like covered on the show at Anne McDaniels. And I'll see you next time on SoCal Sweat.